Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I do greatly appreciate them. They do mean the world to me. This is the weekly forecast. It is for all signs, so it's a collective reading. I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where this reading fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean anything's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. This reading is originally created for the week of August 6th through the 12th, so Sunday the 6th through Saturday the 12th. It's not necessarily set for those dates, though. Like if you're seeing this randomly in your algorithm feed, and it's different year, different months, whatever, and it still makes sense to the situation you're currently in when you're watching this, by all means utilize the reading. I do believe that readings can be timeless and find us when we need them rather than when they were originally created for, so don't get so caught up in the date. But for those of you that watch regularly, we are working on the 6th through the 12th, just seeing what's going on in the energy, what do we need to be made aware of, what shifts or changes are happening around us. Remember, energy is fluid, so it can affect us at different times or in a different order or in different ways in our lives around certain situations, but you have to figure out or apply that to those situations. What else was I going to say? Please check out the drop-down menu if you're new, especially underneath any of my videos. In there, just some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing my channel, what decks I'm using in the reading, how to contact me via social media if you want to follow me, or if you want a private reading, those are available. You would need to message me either at my Instagram or my Facebook business page to initiate that conversation. Please know that I will not hit you up to sell you a reading. So if somebody were to message you directly and say, hey, I want to sell you a reading, and pretend it's me, it's not me. So just know that. Easy way to support the channel. Watch the video in its entirety. It helps my YouTube watch hours. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. Share the video out amongst your friends or anybody you think who might be able to use it. And leave me a question or comment. And then subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell. I do put up daily content, so you should get notified every time I put up a new video. And you can follow along in the journey. The intention of these readings is to kind of just give us a sense of sort of what's going on around us. What do we need to be made aware of so that we can either use it to our advantage, or if it's something that's not advantageous, we can sort of maybe potentially avoid it altogether, or just be aware of it so that we can be in more ease with it, or a sense of neutrality around it if something challenging is happening. These readings are intended to kind of give us insight that maybe the challenge is meant for a purpose, or that they're serving something. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't know why I said that. It's not my normal usual diatribe, but we'll see what comes out in the cards this morning for the week. Each card will represent for a day or two of the week, sometimes 3 days. It really is dependent on how fast you're moving through your timeline. Each of you is going to experience this slightly differently. Some of you may experience only one of these cards. Some of you may experience all of these cards and then some. It's really dependent on your experience or what's going on in your life. So kind of take what you need and leave the rest. So let's see what's going on. We start out with our friend Temperance. He was underpinning at the end of last week's reading, so I like that he's still here. He's hanging in from last week. He is Sagittarian energy. He is an energy of balance, peace, not taking quick action. Even though he is a fire sign, I think that he is, and fire signs can represent like travel, movement, decision-making, taking action, compulsion in a way. But temperance is not compulsion. Temperance is about stopping and smelling the roses, so to speak, or taking it all in, trying to get ourselves into the present moment as much as possible so that we can be aware of what's going on around us and what gifts are being given to us. Temperance is about also like kind of maybe staying focused more in a place of gratitude, staying spiritually connected to where we're at and what we're doing. There's a thing about this angel's feet. One foot is in the water, which would be represent the emotions, and the other foot is on earth, which we saw that symbology in yesterday's star card. It's about staying grounded, like knowing and understanding how we feel, being okay with that, giving grace to that, giving space to that, not, judging ourselves or anybody else for that matter. Kind of remaining in our own inner angel or in our own spiritual truth and allowing that to balance us out, transmuting the energies of what's going on around us. There's definitely a sense of peace with temperance, right? So hopefully we're starting this week off maybe with a higher perspective, with a little more calm, with a little more gentleness. We are going into the 8-8 portal this week, so maybe this is us settling into the shift of the 8-8 portal or what's about to come. We've been seeing a lot of interesting things with the cards, so I like the temperances here because Sagittarian energy is ruled, or Sagittarius, the sign, is ruled by Jupiter, which is a card of planet of expansion. And so we could be expanding spiritually in our life too. We could be, emphasizing the spiritual peace, harmony, healing that we need or that we seek right now during this time and settling in nicely to it. I also, anytime I see an angel on a card, I get a little buzz in my stomach, meaning that our guides are around us or our angels are around us. We could very much feel a sense of protection during this time as we head into the week. And so just allow that to wash over you. Allow that to be, a good word that comes with temperance card is grace, having grace for ourselves and all things around us, regardless of what may be going on. And in that grace, that patience, that, sort of settledness in a way, allow the gratitude to kind of spill forth or to rise up as we do the work. Not that this feels like a very hard-working card, but he is pouring that water between the two cups, meaning, oh, that's an interesting message. As I just said that, I was saying, I was thinking two cups, there could be, for some of you, there could be a love situation being worked out right now, so please be patient. Spirit is working on it. That's just a message for somebody. If there's somebody out there watching that's got a love issue that's going on, this is about taking the higher perspective and just being patient and waiting, staying grounded, being aware of your emotions, and allowing these two cups to find themselves. I don't know why. That's not necessarily a temperance meaning that I get, but I just got that when I was talking about that. So anyways, I was saying that this is a card. Yes, there's work involved, but the work is about almost chilling out, being kind to ourselves, to a situation, and being patient with it, right? Regardless whether it's a love situation or not for all of you. Just having that grace for yourself and that honor of, allowing yourself to just be where you're at and enjoy the moment for what it is. All right, so let's go to the midweek card. Wow, the Emperor, Aries energy. Double fire on the board, guys, and double major arcana. So where we were feeling a little bit more relaxed or patient in the beginning of the week, we're ready to make some hardline decisions in the midweek. That's the Emperor's energy. The Emperor, he's all the four kings, all the best aspects of the four kings all put up into one, right? But he's like the dude in charge. We could find ourselves calling the shots, making some split-second decisions, or some decisions around a situation, but those decisions are going to be what serves us best. The Emperor comes with a very high standard that needs to be met. If there's anyone cutting corners with us, wherever that may be, whether it be at work, in a relationship, in a partnership, the Emperor's got a keen eye on that stuff. A keen awareness, and he's willing to, shut it down if he has to. I want to see the next card for the week, but I kind of get a feeling that with me, this Emperor means that we're moving into the driver's seat, where at the beginning of the week with Temperance, we're more about maybe washing the car or getting the car ready for the journey. The Emperor is about, okay, now I'm ready to take the journey. What steps do I need to take? What decisions do I need to make? Who's coming along with me on the journey? And the Emperor is only going to take the best with him, right? He doesn't settle for less. That's the gig with the Emperor, is you can't not show up at your highest and greatest when the Emperor is present. And that could be for us personally, or that could be for people around us. that are, you know, maybe not, I don't want to say that they're not living up to, but we might be looking at, is this fitting me? Is this serving me? Is this, because that's kind of the emperor's attitude, you know, like he is the emperor. He needs people in place that he can count on. And as do we, right? And so we might be looking at things through a keener lens in the midweek and making some more, I would say, important decisions. The midweek, Tuesday is the 8th, which is the 8-8 portal, and then the 9th is obviously Wednesday, but we feel that 8-8 portal energy leading in and leading out of the 8-8 portal. So I'm not bothered by these two cards during this week, because we're in Leo season and it is the 8-8 portal, and these guys are fire signs, right? And they are fire signs that are, in my opinion, powerful. Temperance is powerful in its harmony and its seeking of peace and its spirituality. The Emperor is powerful in his wisdom, his authority, his strength, his ability to make decisions. So I think, you know, don't quote me on this, but word on the street is that we're setting up for this 8-8 portal in some way, shape, or form, and we're ready to like kind of rock it out is kind of my feeling. Let's look at the end of the week card. Okay, this is the Queen of Cups. Not major arcana, but still a very powerful card. Oftentimes people refer to her, I've heard her in different readers where they say she's the most love in the deck, and I can understand that because queens represent the element of cups, right? So she's cups upon cups. And that's where kind of that most love in the tarot comes from, I guess, that idea. She's extremely connected to her emotions, right? She's extremely psychic and intuitive. She is going to be one that will take care of herself when need be and nurture herself, her emotions. And I think some of that has to do with temperance at the beginning of the week, of finding that peace and that balance, and then making the decisions that we need to make in the midweek with the Emperor, and then kind of settling into the feelings that we've had around those decisions. I feel like those decisions, although they might be, I don't want to say harsh, but they might feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Selfish isn't the right word either, but if we find ourselves making decisions through this emperor energy that feel a little bit like outside of our norm, the Queen of Cups to me feels like she brings in this energy of resettling into how we feel about the decisions we've made, the choices or the journey that we're on, and she's here to nurture and become more in tune to that emotionally. So I do feel like she settles everything nicely. It's almost like her water energy, double water energy on top of that, comes in and not puts out this fire that we see in the Sagittarian and Aries influence, but she kind of settles the quick speed or the if we find ourselves making any really important decisions, let's just say this, through that emperor energy that we're mulling about in the beginning of the week with the Temperance card, right? The Queen of Cups is going to smooth everything over. Water is is mutable. Like it kind of can take on the shape of whatever the vessel it fills, right? And I just get this sense when I see her that she sort of washes over everything, the decisions that we've made, the choices that we've made during this 8-8 portal. And she brings a sort of nice, not only emotional, but also intuitive, settling is not the right word, but it does feel settled to me. It's like it brings it into emotional and intuitional balance or understanding. And I get this sense, and I don't always get this with the Queen of Cups, but it could bring about an emotional healing for some of you, or for all of you. You know, like we're okay with the choices we've made, even if the choices have seemed like a little bit hardlined or extreme through that Emperor energy. But they needed to be made, is my feeling. That's really the truth here. And the Queen of Cups honors that. She comes in and goes, you did a good job, and you should feel good about this. And she helps you to kind of access that intuitionally and also emotionally. Now let's go, I hope that makes sense. You'll have to let me know. Let's go to the Moon Manifestation card. Ah, interesting. New moon in Libra. Air energy to feed all of this fire. We're seeing a lot of air and fire And it says, know you are loved. New moons are about renewal, right? About new beginnings and startings of cycles. And I think that this has to do, and I keep haranguing on this 8-8 portal thing, but I think that this has to do with turning a new page, starting a new chapter. And that knowing that you are loved is that Queen of Cups at the end of the week. She is that energy that sort of washes in and settles us and lets us understand that, you know, if some of us find ourselves mulling a decision in the early part of the week and then making that, I keep saying hard lines because it's the Emperor's energy, but making that firm decision by the midweek through the 8-8 portal, or if that decision is being made for us, right? In other words, like, nope, this cannot come with you kind of thing. It's not serving you. And that's the Emperor's energy. We need to understand that we are loved and that there's like new stories to tell, new opportunities to be had, new paths to take. And the Queen of Cups to me feels like she's keying in on this new moon in Libra energy of knowing that you are loved, right? Where she's the intuition and the emotions. New moon in Libra is the mind, right? And it's bringing that into balance and renewing it in a way and bringing that focus back to this place of being loved, cared for, supported. Libra is a sign of balance too. So things are rebalancing for us in some way, shape, or form. And we also see sort of a little bit of symbolism in the Temperance card of him, you know, pouring the water back and forth between the two cups. If there's a situation that's been, you know, troubling us, that symbology of the two cups is like, it's bringing it back into a place of balance or love, right? Just give it time. Let's go to the clarifiers. And the feeling is I don't feel like we have to do much other than like maybe in the midweek, make a decision or empower ourselves to be in authority of where we go and what we choose, what action or steps we take in which direction. And we're going to be okay with that. And then, you know, soothe yourself through this Queen of Cups energy. So we have the Five of Swords. We saw this in yesterday's clarifiers, and it was in the middle, and it's over here now, which means to me it's moving further away towards the past. I said this yesterday, the Five of Swords, the fives first off are transitory, meaning they represent change or they bring in change. Swords is the element of air in the mind. It is thoughts, communications, contracts, what we communicate. You know, this is a fight, essentially. This is, you know, bringing a gun to a knife fight. What's really got my attention today is these two people kind of walking away and the fact that this card's moved over one space. Meaning, I feel like whatever this transformation is, because the Temperance card can also be highly transformative, whatever this hardline decision is in the sand, we're making around this Five of Swords, wherever there's been a miscommunication or lack of communication or an inability to communicate or fighting even, debating, not seeing eye to eye, is it worth duking it out is my question. With the Five of Swords, I always think of like the potential for alienation, either us alienating ourselves or someone alienating us or us alienating someone else in an effort to prove our point. And is it really worth it in the end, right? Kind of like the Five of Swords gives me this, it's lonely at the top. Like you may have won the battle, but did you really win the battle if nobody's listening to you anymore? Or nobody trusts you anymore? And this can go vice versa, right? The roles can be switched on this. Like maybe you don't trust them anymore because they pushed their agenda so hard or their truth or what they thought was true and communicated it so in such a harsh way or without any sort of empathy or whatever it may be, that it's driving you to have to make a choice and maybe move or step away from it. And I do feel like it is moving more into the past with this shift over. Let's see what the other two clarifiers are. We have the Knight of Swords, more air energy, and it looks like he's coming into the battle to end it. Like, just like, all right, y'all, cut it out. The Knight of Swords can be about a truth incoming, right? An awareness, an idea, thought. Let me take a sip of coffee. That comes in and clears this all out this week. And that's, I'm going to say this too, with these two Swords cards and the new moon in Libra, all that air feeds the fire of Sagittarian energy and the Aries Emperor energy and Leo season, right? We're in Leo season, which is the other fire sign. And I think that this sort of feeds this. Maybe the fire, and fire consumes air, so our thought processes could be maybe slightly more precise, clearer, faster. We're more willing to take action, and the reason why I say that is the Knight of Swords can be a card of fast, swift action, and so can the Emperor. So there may be a truth that we get through our temperance in the beginning of the week, through our pondering, through our present moment thought, meditation, healing, awareness, that we put to good use through the Emperor in the midweek. The Knight of Swords is that incoming thought or shift change of ideas, communication. And it might be exactly what puts an end to whatever this Five of Swords is that we've seen the last few days. Wherever there's challenge, struggle, mismatched ideas between two parties, or you understand what I'm saying, right? Wherever it is we're not seeing eye to eye with a situation or person, I feel like this Knight of Swords is going to come in and kind of lay waste in a way. The last card, and this was in the same position as yesterday, the Seven of Wands, more fire energy feeding off of all of this air. This is about holding our space, guys. Again, like I'm going to say it as of yesterday, this is towing the line, keeping a boundary, maintaining a boundary, understanding what we need spiritually, and defending it. We don't have to defend it from a place that, like, as if it's threatened or anything like that. It's just about being willing to fight for whatever our truth is my feeling, especially with the Knight of Swords kind of raging in here on his horse. There's a truth that we know to be true that is ultimately, like, I feel like beyond this knife fight of the Five of Swords. And we can stay and fight, right? The Seven of Wands can represent that, but we can also just sort of defend our stance from a, I don't want to say passive, I don't know if that's the right word, but a more neutral space, and hold our, what we know, what's that song? I'm hearing a song lyric. These truths we hold to be relevant? What is the song? Oh my god, I'm hearing just this lyric. These truths we hold to be either relevant or like our element. It's something like that. I don't know why I want to say it's the Indigo Girls, but I don't know if that's true, and I can't think of the rest of the song, but I'm just hearing these truths we hold to be relevant. And I know it's from a song. I'll have to look around and see if I can find the song. Maybe I'll mention it in the next video. But Seven of Wands is about, some of that Emperor energy too, is like putting our foot down and being like, no, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I desire, this is where I'm heading, regardless of what others think, regardless of like how we're challenged by others. And the Knight of Swords is going to help to defend that also. He's going to bring in truth and clarity and all of that. And last week's grounding stone for the week was that stone of clarity. So it looks like we're getting that very clarity that we were looking for, seeking last week. It's coming, or it's here, and now we have to act on it, right? So let's look at the grounding stone for the week. Okay, ooh, perfect. It's on Moonstone, and it's honor. I think that there's a lot of honor in this reading, to be honest. Like, what does the Emperor want? He wants to be honored, he wants to be seen and exalted, and for his authority. You are loved, New Moon in Libra. That's about honoring the fact that you are loved, you are deserving of love, you are deserving of what you desire, what you want. The Temperance card is about honoring our spiritual self and honoring ourselves, like I said earlier in the reading, giving ourselves grace to take time to be in the present moment and make a clearer, more spiritual decision around what it is we need to do. And then honoring that and taking, maybe more immediate action through the Emperor. Queen of Cups is about honoring the emotions and the intuition of ourselves and how we feel about a situation and the decisions that we've made this week. All of this is about honor. The Seven of Wands is honoring our position or how we feel at a deep spiritual level and being willing to, toe the line or put the line in the sand. say like, no, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm about, this is what I'm going to do. And the Knight of Swords, knights are about honor and servitude, and he's going to honor the truth and come in, and my feeling is put an end to whatever this Five of Swords stupidity is or melee is. I hope that makes sense, you guys. That is your reading. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel hitting the notification bell, leave me a question or comment, and share the video out. Help me grow my channel, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow to see how this energy changes. All right, take care. Bye-bye.